The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
as a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Good morning to you, one and all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from the Bunkerized Studio this Tuesday morning. Here it is, November number 14 in the year of our Lord 2017. Welcome aboard. Yeah, we were supposed to have, I got some equipment in yesterday to do the phone number without Skype, and I have to send one of them back because they sent me the wrong order. I don't even know what it is. It doesn't fit anything. But in any case, we're still working. So I guess we're just probably going to have to go back to, you have to give Skype a buzz or email and activate things. But anyway, if you are capable of doing it, it's Reccles, RECCLES 44, the number 44 on Skype, and we will get the, I just need to build a whole new studio. I should just tear everything out and just, maybe I could go on to, what are those cash raising sites? I don't know, those self-funded things. What are those things called? Like GoFundMe. Maybe I'll just, raise 10 grand and do a whole studio here. I don't know. Maybe. I'll think about it. In any case, welcome aboard. Got a lot to cover this morning. Paper pile stack is growing. Don't think we're going to get through all of this today, but we will do our level best. We got snow yesterday, and this is, I know that's snow in the north. That's surprising, Rod. Yeah, in November, that's really surprising. Yeah. Well, no, that's not the surprising part about it. We kind of expected it. However, we got more than just a few flurries and a trace. That's what they were predicting. Oh, just a trace of snow. A few snow flurries. No. We got some measurable, it wasn't an inch, but it didn't have to shovel it or anything, but we got some measurable snow. And it was supposed to have been melted by this morning. Most of it's still on the ground. So my point is that if they cannot accurately predict the weather, what's going to happen tomorrow. Because Sunday they were predicting snow for Monday. And there was, just a trace. And I was, weather forecast up until like 11 p.m. that night. Just a trace. We got more to trace. And it was supposed to be gone by morning today. It's still here. So if they can't get predict the weather accurately for a day in the future. How the hell are they predicting all this dramatic climate change crap 50 and 100 years in the future? Anybody stop and really think? I mean, do you leftists really stop and think about that? They can't even accurately predict the weather on a day-to-day basis. Well, you know, right, they're about 75, 80% accurate. So what if you're only 75, 80% accurate, 50 years from now? And I know, we heard all the arguments. Well, it's better to be wrong and actually do something and save the planet than and nothing happen than to be wrong and let everything keep going the way it is, and it's just devastation. Well, sure, that's my argument with believing in God and Christ. Now, if I'm wrong, you live a better life and are probably happier throughout your life and safer. But if I'm right, you just saved your soul from going to hell. But that's not the same thing with the climate change thing. Just saying. Because we could say that with anything, actually. Better safe than sorry, as they say. Well, better safe than sorry in the climate, right? No, there's just too much evidence to go the other way that says man-made climate change is not happening. So there is no better safe than sorry. It's just, people are just on the left are just saying better stupid than smart. Just because, hey, if you're on the right and you don't believe in this climate change crap, then you're pretty smart. It actually doesn't take a really smart person to figure it out. It just takes a person who uses their brain, opens their mind, and turns on their logic center on their head. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to discern just how bad and off the leftist, liberal, environmentalist wacko is. It's not difficult. I mean, look, yesterday I told you all about this whole notion that human beings are so bad that no other animal is like human beings. You know what's interesting? I missed one fact yesterday. I missed one thing yesterday about comparing humans to the animal world. Now, they keep telling us that humans are on the left, that humans are better than animals, and that animals don't do what humans do. Well, remember when they were promoting the gay penguin couple? Yeah, you had two males that adopted an egg and sat on a penguin egg, and they looked after it as if they were a married couple. And I think there was a couple of penguin couples like this, but they were following this one penguin couple. Oh, just how adorable! See, animals, it's a natural thing to be homosexual. Animals do it. It's just one of the things that most animals do not do. They do not capitulate or try to capitulate with the same sex of their species. Now, there are animals that try to, especially like dogs, that try to capitulate with other species. I mean, a male dog, once he's horny, will try to hump anything. But remember these penguins? These penguins, and later when they did some research and investigating, and they started following penguins around more and trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the two gay penguins, right? They found out that this is a natural occurrence, that when there is an abandoned egg, such as the mother penguin somehow disappears or dies or gets eaten or something, they don't want to leave the egg abandoned. So and it takes two penguins. It doesn't take a village to raise a penguin. It takes two parents, usually a mom penguin and a dad penguin. What they found out is that sometimes when one of the partners abandons the egg, another partner, usually a male, will come in to help preserve the flock. The interesting thing is that we followed these male penguins for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden they both went off and found themselves female penguins. And the gay world was shocked. You remember that? Oh, wait, they can choose? Yeah, they can choose. They were only doing what they were doing for survival. That was a conclusion of researchers about the gay male penguin. And you know what? That wasn't the famous male gay penguin couple. Wasn't the only gay couple to do that. There were others that they spotted that also did the same thing. When the time came, I guess they abandoned their gay love and went and found a straight love. Well, because they can't capitulate with each other and reproduce. I mean, that's the whole point, right? So in other words, penguins aren't stupid. So remember, well, the reason why I bring that up is it's twofold. One, because I forgot to mention that yesterday when I was doing my comparisons between humans and the animal world and how cruel the animal world can be, just like humans. Humans can kill for sport, hunters, sportsmen, but so can animals. Prey animals will target, hunter animals will target prey animals and just kill them just out of sport. In that one, that there are species of animals, lots of them actually, especially not just the predator, even the non-predator, the prey animals have been known and spotted and seen and proven to murder their own. So we're not the only violent species, as the left would have you believe. We're also not the only species to do environmental damage. Now, I proved that yesterday. I mean, just look at beavers. Beavers have been known to do massive environmental damage. Now, I know they're cute little creatures. I don't think beavers are all that cute anyway, but some people think they're cute and they're adorable. They're God's dam builders, as some people say. But they do some massive environmental damage. And now, I forgot to bring out the point that, we have some penguins that people have forgotten about that hatched a penguin egg together, and then once the penguin egg was hatched and fairly raised, they went off and found themselves a female partner. So they really weren't gay penguins. Did you ever see a penguin ever try to have sex with a male penguin? Try to have? I don't think they ever saw the two males try to capitulate and have sex together, but they were gay. Just saying, because they were raising an egg together. But I bring that up because we got more accusations about Judge Roy Moore. Now, these are accusations that are 35, 40, 45 years ago. This is when this, what was the broad's name? Yes, I called her a broad. The broad's name yesterday that she was with her attorney, Gloria Allred. Now, first of all, that's flag number one. What normal human being, normal female out there, hires Gloria Allred to be your lawyer? How does Gloria Allred find these women? Does she put an ad in some women's magazines or something? So Gloria Allred is her lawyer. Flag number one. Two, she's reliving an incident that took place some 40 plus years ago. And she's having a mental crisis and breakdown, and she's trying to fight back. I'm sorry. That little incident where Judge Moore almost but didn't really rape you traumatized you so much that even to this day, even though you told nobody in 40 years, to this day, it devastates you to the point of tears. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Yeah, and Ted Cruz has withdrawn his support for Judge Moore. Look, folks. I've talked about Ted Cruz ad nauseum on this program. There are a bunch of people that are Cruzes out there. I don't know how I could put this delicately. I've never really fully. Now I know that he tends to be more conservative and sometimes constitutionally conservative than a lot of other candidates. But there's just something about Ted Cruz that I just don't trust. He is too polished, too professional. He is a consummate politician. The guy he doesn't seem to do anything that isn't rehearsed or calculated. Even normal stuff. I mean, You walk up to him in the street probably, and ask him a question, and then instead of being a normal human, regular citizen human being, he sounds like a freaking politician all the time. That bothers me. It bothers me to know it because I don't know if he's really doing what he says he believes in, or if he's just really saying things and regurgitating things that he thinks I want to hear. Look, I know that's a big part of the swamp, and a lot of people didn't think that Ted Cruz was a swamp monster, but I think he is. Now, is he a blue blood Republican? No, I don't think he's one of them. But he's definitely a swamp monster of a different kind. I've never been a Cruz fan. Never. There's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. And oftentimes you got to trust your gut. You got to. I know there are a lot of people that love Ted Cruz. I have never gotten on the Ted Cruz bandwagon. Simply, and there have been people that these. I don't know, some sociologist type. I guess it's a sociologist type of thing that have tried to describe why Ted Cruz turns people off, and it's just based on his looks. I think it's more than his looks. That may be a part of it. I mean, he's not. Well, we got a lot of politicians who are not, physically pretty. Let's put it in those terms. There's a lot of politicians that are rather ugly. So that's not the problem. It's not that he's not a pretty man. It's hard to put my finger on it. But I know there are lots of people out there that feel the same way. That's why he's had a difficult time gaining a mass following, a mass appeal, because there's something about the man that turns people off. And it isn't about his Christian faith, because there are plenty of politicians on the national and local level that profess themselves as being Christian more than Ted Cruz. There are uglier politicians than Ted Cruz that do quite well. There's just something else about him that turns people off. And I'm sure I'm like many people. They can't quite put their finger on it, but they just know no. But anyway, he's rescinded his support for Judge Moore. Why? Because a couple of women have accused him of sexual misdeeds 40 years ago? 40! Oh, hey, I guess all Judge Moore really had to do was just say, no, this is just like George Sakai. Oh, this is just a Russian plot to destroy me. That's what he should have said, and it would have been okay.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, L. Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
As a side note, did you guys see this? There's a new Barbie out there. Yes, Mattel is about to release a new Barbie. I don't know how you pronounce her name. Ibtihaj, Ibtihaj. I can't pronounce her name. Mattel announces Ibtihaj Mohammed doll. Yes, the first Barbie to wear a hijab. You know, the headscarf? Yeah, we're introducing a Barbie that has a hijab. Now, she's the Olympic fencer. You remember her? She's the Middle Eastern Muslim fencer. She says she's thrilled to have inspired a Barbie in her likeness, and especially proud that the doll will be the first Barbie to wear a hijab. This is a childhood dream come true, she posted. The doll is part of the Shiro. What is the Shiro line? Well, I'm not a girl, so I don't really follow the antics of Barbie. Well, is that a takeoff of hero? Well, because hero is H-E, not S-H-E, and Shiro is S-H-E. Politically correct crap. Oh, yeah, she's my Shiro. Is that the same as like He-Man and She-Ra? She-Ra is a Shiro? Well, that's what they call it. Well, I guess He-Ra it doesn't sound the same as She-Ra. But He-Man, yeah, She-Man, can't say She. He-Man, that's a Skeletor. We're so excited to honor Mohammed with one-of-a-kind Barbie doll, Mattel posted. She continues to inspire women and girls everywhere to break what is this to break boundary stuff? I thought we did that with women long ago. You know, well, I know there was a glass ceiling, but I thought we broke all the other. Remember when we used to say, you know, no, we went from fire woman to a fire person. Remember that? Now, a lot of you out there don't remember there was a popular TV show in the late 60s, early 70s called Policewoman. The policewoman, she was a detective. Her name was Pepper something. Angie Dickinson played her, I do believe. This is going back. Geez, I'm dating myself. This is going back some years now. But Angie Dickinson, I do believe. And this was a long-running TV show. Yeah, both my parents used to watch it. I don't know. I mean, I think Angie Dickinson was a hottie, I suppose, back then. I don't really recall. But she was a police, and this was like a big groundbreaking show. So we've been breaking ground for women and females and girls for 40 years now. And they haven't broken through anywhere? Really? They're still breaking boundaries? I'm not sure I quite understand the female, especially when you have people like Bill Clinton who do to women what Bill Clinton does. Or did. And the female population says nothing, really. You know, the liberal female population. But as soon as... That's another thing. You know, Bill Clinton... I got a story here. I want people to... This is going to... We're going to do some comparison here when we get back from the break here. You're not going to... This is how stupid, how sick, and how hypocritical the left is. Don't go anywhere. I got you. Got it right here. Right here.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals, because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Arriba! I can't do Mexican stuff. Anyway, I probably shouldn't have said that. I was going to flip out some liberal somewhere. This whole Moore thing, look, folks, first of all, I'm not going to say settle down, because this should have you livid. This should have you absolutely livid. The hypocrisy and double standard is beyond the pale. Even before multiple women come forward, and this is not the end of this. Liberals have figured this is what the liberals were doing. Harvey Weinstein was the sacrificial lamb, and Kevin Spacey just got caught up in it. Why? Well, I still have it accurate, but I wasn't full in my description of why this all came out about Harvey Weinstein right now. They needed to get rid of the Clintons. They needed to get rid of Clinton supporters. Harvey Weinstein is a huge Clinton supporter. But also, what I failed to mention, I don't know how I missed this the first time I explained this. Sexual assault allegations and charges have now been weaponized. Yes, they have been. Because all you have to do now to a Republican is accuse that Republican that they did something, even if it was 40 years ago, and you've got the GOP leadership that says, well, you should resign. You should quit the race. You should resign your post. Just get out of the race. Get out of the way. Has there been such a call from a single Democrat to any other Democrat who's been accused? No. Has there been a call from the Democratic Party or Democratic members for any Democrat to drop out of any race, to go and hide themselves because they were accused? No! Only stupid freaking Republicans do before a person even gets a chance to respond to the allegation. You had Mitch McConnell jumping in front of a microphone almost before Roy Moore could refute the facts of the first accuser. Oh, if this is true about George Roy Moore, then he should get out of the race now and write-in candidates. We should have a write-in candidate. You know why they're doing this? Because Moore is a big Trumper. That's why. And they do not give a damn. This is the swamp speaking here, folks. They don't give a damn about what you, the voter, thinks, believes, or feels. You should already know this. Look what they're doing to Trump. You voted for Trump, but they could give a shit. Really. Let me be plain and blunt with this. This is the same thing with Judge Roy Moore. They're running around saying, well, hey, if you people duly elect Roy Moore, even knowing now with all the accusations that have come out, supposedly, the alleged accusations, if you still decide to elect him, the GOP leadership is saying, screw you. Basically, they're saying, F you. We're going to take steps to remove this guy from our Senate. This is our house, not yours. That's what the GOP is telling you. They are going to make the election null and void by trying to remove him. Basically, impeach him. So they've already decided that Moore is guilty of these crimes, even if he's not. Do you get what I'm saying here, people? You now have the Republican leadership, the GOP in the swamp in D.C. that is telling the voter to go F off, because even if you decide that these allegations are false, they're fake, they're fictional, and you elect Moore to the Senate, they're going to take steps to remove him. Hello? So basically what they're trying to do is they're telling you up front now is that they're going to make your election choice null and void. Pretty much like what they're trying to do to Donald Trump. And the people who supported Trump and voted for Trump, they're just trying to make your vote. Why? Because Moore is kind of a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's not going to put up with that kind of BS. Trust me, he's not. But this is for anybody on the left to even say one iota about any of this is completely and utterly hypocritical. Oh, Judge Moore, he tried to have sex with 16 and 17-year-olds and back 40 years ago. Really? Does anybody remember another famous Democrat, liberal, Jewish person who dated a teenager? I think he's still married to her now. Anybody remember when Jerry Seinfeld, how old was that girl? 16 when he first started dating her? Oh, wait, I got the story right here in the... Jerry Seinfeld, 19 years old. Anybody remember that? Or excuse me, 17 years. Jerry Seinfeld was 39 when he started dating his 17-year-old love of his life. 1993, Jerry Seinfeld just began his hit comedy series, on was it NBC, ABC, Seinfeld. He met the love of his life when he picked her up one day, and he was in Central Park picking up women, and he picked up a 17-year-old high school. She was still in high school. Now I remember saying, how sick is that? And not only did I remember saying how sick is that, I remember the Seinfeld program going to run for years. How long? 11 years? A show about nothing. Became a huge hit. All the while this guy was being a pedophile. And nobody on the left said a damn thing. Oh, isn't it so cute? Jerry Seinfeld is in love and he's just becoming funnier because he's in love with a 17-year-old high school student. He was freaking 39 years old. It's now we're hearing stories of Moore when he was 34, 35, and 36, hitting on 16 and 17-year-olds in the mall. And that's enough for him to be banished forever. But Jerry Seinfeld can marry his 17-year-old sweetheart, and everybody thinks it's just cute and cool and wonderful. Folks, I know there's a difference. Judge Moore's alleged suspects or conquests, parents obviously didn't approve. But for some reason, somehow, what was her name? Shoshana Lonstein. I guess her parents approved. I don't know. Did Lonstein's dad require a dowry from Seinfeld, and did he pay up? Isn't that how it used to work in the old? You had to have a dowry in order to pay the dad of the daughter before you could marry her, or so. Isn't that how it used to work? I wasn't alive back then, so I may be misremembering my history at this point. But I mean, a dowry could have been, a trunk full of precious stuff, or it could have been a cow or something. I don't know. But did Seinfeld cough up any money? I don't know. I'm just bringing this back up because now we've got Moore who's being targeted and lambasted. And this woman, by the way, woman says Moore tried to rape her when she was 16, and then he signed her yearbook. Beverly Young Nelson issued the most serious allegations yet against the Republican candidate for Senate, saying he choked her and said, "You're just a child," and then he signed her yearbook. And she didn't. She's been mum for. Now, Judge Moore is not just some creep who's come out of the woodwork all of a sudden and entered politics. He's been in politics, and he's been a judge for what? Over 40 years. This guy's had a long career. And now when he's running for Senate, and because he's a Trump supporter, now is when all these women come out of the woodwork, flanked by Gloria Allred. Nobody else sees a problem with this. I see red flags all over the place. Yeah, look, I am not. If he actually did it, then that it's shame on him, and he should be held accountable. I am not trying to protect any predator, sexual predator at all. But wait, can I say? I know this is probably. Can I point out a dirty little secret fact that's right in front of everybody's face? Hey, at least Moore was straight. He wasn't hitting on little boys. He was hitting on little girls, if that were true. At least Jerry Seinfeld was straight. He was hitting on a 17-year-old girl and not a 17-year-old boy. Can we point that? And that's true for a lot of these people now being accused of sexual actions, from anywhere from 40 years ago to last year. Most of them are straight. That's pretty sad that you have to point that fact out. I know there's a couple like Kevin Spacey, he's accused of groping and grappling with boys and men. But anyway, I'm just pointing that out. Not condoning it at all. Just pointing it out because it's so rare today, evidently. It's so rare. I mean, that you have people that might actually go for the opposite sex, but and it doesn't make it better. Really? But I just think there's a little bit something extra evil about a man doing something to a little boy, same sex as he is. Child molestation is just evil anyway. But if same-sex molestation, that's even a bit more evil in my book. Just in my book, it's awful. But because what if the child is not gay? You just mess the child up for life. That's probably why we have so many kids and especially male child stars that turn to drugs and commit suicide or die from accidental overdoses when they become adults, because it messes them up. And we've got the proof that it does. But anyway, so she was 16 years old, and supposedly, and then Moore had the audacity, I guess, to sign. Did she produce the yearbook, by the way? I don't know. The story here didn't mention if she produced the yearbook with Moore's signature. One night at a restaurant, Nelson said Moore, who was 30 at the time, signed her high school yearbook. To a sweeter, more beautiful girl, I could not say Merry Christmas, 1977, love, Roy Moore, Old Hickory House, 12/22/77, Old Hickory House. Moore signed a high school girl's yearbook while they were in a restaurant? And that's supposed to be proof of him potentially trying to rape her and choke her and have sex with her? And she did produce the yearbook, but that is, well, I guess any other star who ever signs anybody else's, any kids, like Justin Bieber signs something for a little girl, a teenage girl, he's going to be in the future. Is he going to be accused of of attempted rape or something? I mean, really? This is what we're going to go by. He signed my yearbook after he tried to rape me and choke me and tell me I'm just a child. Really? Hey, this is... Again, folks, remember, this woman is being flanked by Gloria Allred. They've weaponized sexual assault charges now.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face, sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came, defeat the would-be dictators, and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
Of everybody's life, sex and sexuality, even for children. Now, granted, don't get me wrong in this. I firmly believe, and I haven't seen any evidence otherwise. But children, even teenagers, don't really fully grasp this whole notion of straight, gay, what have you. And yeah, look, as children, we are supposed to be taught by adults, by learned adults, that teaches how to understand and control urges. Now, no, you could have urges at 10 years old that we may construe as being inappropriate, and you may have urges that are 10 years old that we may construe as being, appropriate. But we teach children to control all of those urges and to recognize as they grow up, they begin to recognize and understand what those urges are. I don't think they understand about they really don't understand about being gay or straight. However, it's kind of amazing that all throughout history, even for people who claim to be gay, how they grow up in school and they're naturally attracted to the opposite sex. It is very few children that when it comes right down to these stupid studies that they do, very few children, nowhere near the 1 in 10%, far less than 10%, find themselves at an early age naturally attracted to the same sex. You get some of these kids that are 17, 18 years old, and they all of a sudden they realize that they're gay. But when they were 10, 12, 14, they were naturally attracted to the opposite sex. Well, folks, something happened for their head to be screwed around that way. I'm just saying. I'm not calling homosexuality disease, although some people have tried to claim that. But I do believe for most people that are gay or claim to be gay, it is a choice. And that may be controversial, and you may not agree. I'm sorry, but the evidence is pretty damn clear about it. But in any case, so you have, and when you interrupt that natural progression of growing up, which is what happens when you have a same-sex pedophilia encounter. Now, it doesn't matter if it's man on boy or woman on girl. It tends to mess them up. And by the very fact that what is the number? It's some boys are 6 times more likely to be abused sexually as children than girls. We live in a sick world. I mean, it's just, and yet these parents take their sons out to Hollywood where they know there's this pedophilia ring. And then they get surprised when their kid, turns 18, 19, 20 years old and is all messed up and he's dead by the time he's 27 or 30. And that's pretty sad. And nobody listens to them either. I mean, Corey Feldman tried to warn people about Corey Haim. Corey Haim tried to tell people what happened to him. Nobody listened to him. That's the other problem. And as a result, he died an early death. And I just find when you do that to children, I think that is just slightly more, in my book, is just slightly more evil. Because you know what you're potentially doing to that child as that child grows up. And the only reason why you're doing it, well, in both cases, straight or gay, but the only reason why you're doing it is you haven't learned how to control your own urges. What, are you kidding me? I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, if you're straight or gay, if you're liberal, conservative, or moderate. None of that is appropriate. And none of it should be hidden. None of it should be hidden. But it really ticks me off when we have this huge double standard for conservatives versus liberals. A liberal does it or is accused of it. Oh, well, there's no proof and this happened, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Big deal. A conservative is accused of the exact same thing and all hell breaks loose. The conservatives is supposed to be thrown under the jail without a trial and then everybody else moves on. That kind of crap's got to stop.
Call Rod now, 603-835-3226. Lines are open.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do. I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Here, hour number 2 here on the Rod Eccles Show, coming at you live from the Bunkerized studio here on this Tuesday, November number 14 in the year of our Lord 2017. Welcome aboard. Glad you are all here. That includes you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe, as well as you local liberals. Yeah, I just got a note. I guess some liberal group here in New Hampshire is listening to the program. Like, okay, great. What are they gonna? Are they gonna search me out and stalk me if they don't like what I said? Okay, but that's fine. They'll just never know. I can legally pack in this country, in this state. So you never know. They can go ahead and try. Just saying. Not saying I'm gonna harm anybody. Not unless they're trying to harm me or somebody innocent around me. I'm not going to put up with that stuff. Any case, it's good that I'm making it. Look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am becoming a bit of a celebrity here in my own state, I guess. Last year, 2016, the New Hampshire Republican Party, through every 4 years they do the New Hampshire Republican Gala, and for those of you who are new to the program, you didn't know that I was asked to be the MC, the host of the whole event, and I got to meet and hug Carly Fiorina. Just I'm going to point that out there. Yeah, I actually got to meet Carly Fiorina and talk with her, and actually gave her a hug. I met Ben Carson's wife. And later the next day, I didn't get the chance to speak with him because he was just surrounded by so many people. But I did see Dr. Carson himself coming to pick it because they weren't at the event at the same time. He was somewhere else. And Dr. Carson, evidently, because Mrs. Carson was just so sweet. She was very shy. She was a very quiet child. I couldn't picture her being first lady. Not because she wasn't classy enough, but she was just so quiet and shy. She was not comfortable around a lot of people. And I remember trying to get her to warm, because she was giving a speech, and I was trying to get her to warm up, and I do believe that she was talking to her husband, Dr. Carson, and because he did, even though we didn't get a chance to meet each other, and he waved at me. But yeah, she was just a sweetheart. She really was, and I don't know why. Well, I mean, I know that he felt a need or a calling to enter the race, but they just see if he's anything like her, not weak, but just this meek, quiet type of people, nice people. I would never suggest that they get into dirty politics like this. It's just not that it's going to mess with them or ruin them, but it's just they're too good for that kind of stuff. She was just a beautiful person. Carly, believe it or not, when she's not on stage, is a rather quiet speaking kind of person too. And I met a bunch of bigwigs from the state and the state Republicans, and our current governor was not there, but his top contender, Frank Edelblut. I remember that. I was speaking to his wife, and she never once let on. Now, Edelblut is a big Republican person here in this state. He's a short guy, but he's a big Republican person. And he was running for governor. And he came in second to Chris Sununu. And Sununu only won because his dad was once governor. He's got the last name. And it was a close race, the primary. But I was talking to his wife at the event. Never once did she even tell me her last name. And she never, ever came across as being better than anyone. And we were talking for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And then she said, let me introduce you to my husband. And next thing I know, I turn around and I'm like, this is your husband? And he's like, yeah, she's a beaut, isn't she? Isn't she a doll? I'm like, yeah, this woman's hilarious. She was actually very funny. She could have been a comedian. Really. But never once did she ever mention that her husband was Frank Edelblut. After she introduced me, this is my husband, this is Frank. I said, this is your husband? She goes, yeah, he's running for governor. I said, yeah, I know who he is. So it's not like she was shy or afraid to mention it. She just wasn't that type of a person. And from what I understand, talking to other people about they were a couple that they were an unassuming couple. In that they never lorded over anybody else, and they never, well, do you know who I am? They never pulled that kind of crap. And I just met a bunch of wonderful Republicans, conservatives, that were normal human beings, both on a state and national level. It was amazing. Anyway, so so I'm thinking I'm making a dent or an impression, at least in this state. And of course I've been on the radio here, the air, and in January I'm due to be back on the air, FM radio out of Manchester. So I guess I continue. I don't feel any different. Well, how does it feel to be famous? I don't feel any different. I don't think I want to be all that recognizable anyway, to tell you the truth. I like being able to walk down. Can you imagine not being able to walk? Well, I don't go to the mall, but can you just, if I wanted to, go to the mall and, well, God, if I go to the mall now, I might be accused of sexual deviancy with some 12-year-old or something. Yeah, you can't do that once you become a prominent conservative. You can't do normal things anymore. So, hey, Judge Moore is being accused of, going to the mall and being a predator at the mall, whatever mall that he was going to, I guess. But, yeah, so I guess you can't even do that. Well, yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. But I do take it as a compliment that the left is tuning in. It means I'm I'm making them nervous. Well, that's how I'm going to take it. Because otherwise, why would they listen? Well, they've tried to. I remember when I was on Blog Talk Radio, they had these. They actually did this to people. They had these, how Hannity says that there are people that sit in their pajamas and they monitor everything that Hannity says, and a couple of the bigwigs just trying to find stuff. They actually, back when I got started and was starting to become one of the top conservative shows on Blog Talk Radio, they actually had liberals who would, paid liberals, the seminar callers, who would call into the different conservative-based talk shows on Blog Talk Radio. And they used to call repeatedly to my show. And not once did I lose an argument. Why? Because all I did was just use logic while they were doing touchy-feely stuff. And within 60 seconds, I got them calling me a name on the air. I didn't call them names. But because they lost the argument, the last thing, you won a verbal debate when the person who you're sparring with calls you a name. Because they don't have an argument left. They know they lost the argument. So they'll call you every name in the book. I just used to think it was fun. It still is kind of fun to tweak a liberal. It really is. But it's so easy to do. It's not even a challenge anymore. Well, it's not a challenge. Sorry. It's not a challenge. Hey, here's, you want to, I don't know how to present this now. I mean, I do, but I don't know if, it doesn't have to do with the United States per se, but it does have to do with the mentality of the left when it comes to a global standard. The French government is set to set an age of consent nationally in France. But I'm kind of surprised they already don't have one in place, but it is Europe. But you won't believe the reason why. And here's the story from the Associated Press. They ask a question: is a 13-year-old girl old enough to have sex with an adult? Now, that's a question that France is asking itself as the government prepares to set a legal age nationally for sexual consent for the very first time. Now, twice in recent weeks, French courts have refused to prosecute grown men for rape after they had sex with 11 and 12-year-olds because authorities couldn't prove coercion. Yes, amid public horror, the government is drafting a bill to say sex with children under a certain age, by definition, is coercion. Now, feminist groups plan to protest saying that the age should be set at 15. Justice Minister Nicole Belloubet says 13 should be the age worth considering. So, wait a minute. Folks, you've got, first of all, you've got French courts who refuse to prosecute grown men over the age of 18, grown men, for having sex with preteens because they can't prove that the preteens were coerced into having sex. And so now the French government is thinking, well, maybe, this is a national horror. We cannot have this sort of thing. So now they're going to for the very first time, they're going to set an age of consent. Now, every state in this country has a different age of consent, and some states have multiple age of consents. Well, for instance, here in the state of New Hampshire, the age of consent for a straight couple is 16. The age of consent for a lesbian couple is 16. The age of consent for a gay couple, 2 men, is 18. So if you have sex before the age of 16, or if you're male gay before the age of 18, you're committing an illegal act. And there are details. There are, a 16-year-old can't have sex with a 30-year-old, even though 16 is the age of consent. There are cutoffs. And a lot of states have stuff like that. Now, varying ages. Now, some states, the age of consent is 14. In some states, the age of consent is 17 and 18. But here in New Hampshire, it's 16 and 18 for gays. France doesn't have any such set ages. So now they're considering it. And somebody has brought up, there are people in the government who think, well, 13 is a good age of consent. This is not the Middle Ages. This isn't the Middle Ages. I know our whole system of jurisprudence when it comes to sex and consent and all that, it's all over the map and it's all screwed up. But can we at least say that? And look, I get there are some parts that are messed up where you have a high school senior who turns 18, is dating, his sophomore or junior love, who isn't 18 yet. But as soon as that boy turns 18, now all of a sudden he's being arrested for child rape. They're both still in high school. They're in a consenting relationship. Now all of a sudden, the day before he's legal, the day now he turns 18, now he's not legal, and he has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. That happens more often than you think, folks. Especially if the boy is not liked by the parents. Oh, that's the first thing the parents do. Yeah, this kid is 18 years old and having sex with my 17-year-old daughter. It's rape. So we have these laws that are all over the map. Well, it's no wonder some people don't fully understand or get confused by some of these things. Stuff is just all over the map. And this stuff that they're coming out, weaponizing sex the way that they are, is going to make everything a hell of a lot worse. Oh yeah, folks, it's going to get worse before we even think it's going to get better.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Acknowledge something here, because I know liberals listen to the program, and of course they don't agree, but there's something here that happens on this program anyway that proves that those of us on the right are not in lockstep with one another. Now, I have fans and I have super fans, and I have someone in the chat room. She's a wonderful. And I never met her personally, but she's a great person from what I can gather. She's become a super fan, I believe. And her name is Chris. Now, she doesn't always agree with me. And none of my super fans, actually, when they get in the chat room, they don't always 100% of the time agree with me. But you know the difference between them and a liberal is that they have a cognizant thought about why they disagree. And the reality is that we do agree on the macro, the big picture. It's just that micro part that we disagree on. And we can have a legitimate, honest, logical debate, which is something that is often void and lacking when you're speaking to a liberal. And it's eye-opening, actually. Well, I mean, you know, they often bring up details that sometimes I don't think about. Which is obviously I'm a human being. I don't think of everything. And I can take into consideration, and yeah, they have given me information that has swayed my opinion. Believe it or not. Look, you know, I'm the person when you come up with something that is logical and factual, then logically, if it should change my belief or opinion, then that's what happens, because it's logical, because it's based on fact. You know, they brought up facts before, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that fact. Okay, that changes the whole perception or whole picture then. And I love them for it. I love them. They keep me on my toes, for one. But it just goes to show, you just don't. People on the right are not just lockstep, mind-numb robots like the left thinks that we are. And in any case, yeah. So I like. How many times have you heard liberals just? You don't often hear conservatives repeating the exact same thing over and over again. How many times have you heard liberals, those on the left, I mean, it just say the exact same thing? And most of the time, if you actually try to get deeper than that surface, you try to scratch the surface, they have no idea. They have no idea the meaning behind whatever they're saying or whatever they're supporting. It's kind of like the tax cuts for millionaires. Did you see the YouTube? I think it was who was it? The Alex Jones thing, or Alex whatever his name is. Anyway, the conservative female info babe was out on the street and she did a YouTube video, and she asked people how they liked the new Bernie Sanders tax cut for millionaires thing. And all these Bernie Sanders fans, supporters thought it was wonderful. They thought it was great. Oh yeah, we know, Bernie. If Bernie thinks it's good, then we should do it. And then when they found out that it wasn't Bernie, then their whole countenance changed about the whole thing. I mean, Well, then it's probably a bad idea if Bernie's not for. What? All you guys run around doing is repeating the same mantra over and over. You don't even have a cognizant thought of your own. Now, who's a mind-numb robot? Seriously, mind-numb. Well, I guess you can't. That's what it takes to be a liberal. If that's what it takes to be a liberal, is to just go with the flow and not really think about anything. I sure as hell could never do that. I could never ever be a liberal then, I guess. I don't know. I'm just a poor candidate because I think too much.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Every day, 70,000 puppies or kittens are born in the U.S. Cute, right? What's not cute is that half of all litters are accidents, which leads to millions killed in shelters each year. Turns out, those little cuties can get pregnant sooner than you think. But here's the good news. You can stop the accident before it happens. When you bring home a pet, get them fixed at 4 months old. Prevent more. Fix at month 4. Visit fixat4.com for more information. Brought to you by Best Friends Animal Society.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late. We stay informed. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Wanting to move on from the weaponizing of sexual harassment type of stuff here, but it can't yet because there's more to it here. Yeah, there's more to it. And this is from CNN, actually. I know, I take it with a grain of salt, but think about this now, folks. Again, the weaponizing of sexual assault and sex and I know sex has been used as a weapon for centuries, ever since there's been spies and warfare and all that kind of stuff, sure. But this is a little different. And this is very dangerous. And CNN is reporting here, now this is a problem within D.C. itself. Now, again, is Mitch McConnell out there blaming and accusing Roy Moore of stuff? Remember, I always say, watch out for the people who do a lot of pointing. You know, they point that one finger because three fingers are pointing back at them. The people in power or have power in a particular situation or with an issue, what have you, those are the people that when they start accusing others loudly or having their minions do it for them, you have to start wondering, well, what are they hiding? And now you got Mitch McConnell out there talking about, well, if Moore is elected, even if the people of Alabama elect Moore, we're gonna impeach him here in the Senate. We're just gonna get rid of him. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You have an allegation from a couple of females, a couple of women who have kept mum for 40 plus years. All throughout this guy's long, extended, public service record and history, and they have said there is not a single article or report, police report or other report for 30 plus years, 40 years, that I can see, that I can find, about Judge Moore's sexual impropriety. None. All of a sudden now, when it looks like this guy's going to walk away with this special election, and he's a pro-Trumper, now all of a sudden all this stuff comes out. And I'm starting, along with, right after we have all of this, these sexual allegations from Harvey Weinstein. You remember this is only about a month old now. Month and a half. This is not all that old. Harvey Weinstein, beginning of October is when all this started. So now all of a sudden, when all this other stuff comes out, now people are going to come out against Roy Moore. Now that the whole issue of this sexual impropriety has been exposed for everybody to see, now you got to wonder, what are other people hiding? People that haven't been accused of anything that should be. What are they hiding? And are they the ones pointing the fingers at everybody else right now? Well, according to CNN, my speculation may be dead on. They have a story here. They say, and they start out, be extra careful of the male lawmakers who sleep plural, who sleep in their offices. They can be trouble. Avoid finding yourself alone with a congressman or a senator in elevators, late-night meetings, or events where alcohol is flowing, and think twice before speaking out about sexual harassment from a boss. It could cost you your career. And remember when they made fun of Mike Pence when he said he did not want to be anywhere with another woman by himself without his wife? Remember when they were making fun of him for that? He said, no, I don't go to lunch dates or dinner dates or anything else out with women without my wife. And what did they do to Mike? What did they try to do to Mike Pence? Didn't they say, well, this is old-fashioned, this is anti-female, but, he doesn't feel that he can be alone with a woman. No, it's pretty damn smart. If Mike Pence is always that, well, I'm not going to be alone with another female unless my wife or somebody else is in the room with. Guess what? You can't be accused. Well, I guess you can be, but nobody can really accuse and get away with accusing Mike Pence of doing anything improper. Because this man has always been this way. Think about that. They made fun of this guy. And now all of a sudden, well, hey, the Mike Pence rule might be a good idea. I mean, there are just a few unwritten rules that some female lawmakers and staffers and interns say they follow on Capitol Hill, where they say harassment and coercion is pervasive on both sides of the rotunda. There is also a creep list, an informal roster passed along by word of mouth consisting of the male members most notorious for inappropriate behavior, ranging from making sexually suggestive comments or gestures to seeking physical relations with younger employees and interns. So CNN said it spoke with more than 50 lawmakers, current and former Hill aides and political veterans who have worked in Congress, a majority of whom spoke anonymously to be candid and avoid potential repercussions. With few exceptions, every person said they have personally experienced sexual harassment on the Hill or know others who have experienced it. So again, are they pointing fingers and being so loud since this came out? Because it has come out, and it is being, and the secret inside sexual. Well, what do you want to call it? It's not really a slave trade, sexual slave trade. Well, I guess it could be part of that, especially when children are involved, because children don't have a say. Really. So we have the sexual impropriety that has been, that everybody rumored was there, but now it has come out and it's hit the light of day and everybody knows. So now you got people who are running scared and scrambling to protect their reputations, to protect their livelihoods, to protect their careers. So are they like doing a Hillary Rodham Clinton? Pointing fingers loudly at the opposition in order, in a feeble attempt to save their own necks? Now, I'm just asking the question. Usually that's the case, but I'm just asking the question. And look, I don't have to go very far to prove my case. Look at Hillary Rodham Clinton. The collusion part was not on Donald Trump and his organization. It was on the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. They're the ones doing the colluding. Even though so far it doesn't, unless you get into uranium one stuff, but colluding with buying a fake dossier, that's not illegal. But this is all the kind of stuff that these people are doing, and they're pointing fingers at everybody else. So when you got people in Congress now, like Mitch McConnell, how many women would come forward on Mitch McConnell? I don't know if Mitch McConnell has ever been accused of sexual impropriety. I don't know if he's ever committed. I'm not saying that he has. But now I'm wondering why, what is the saying? thou dost protest too much, right? Perhaps thou dost protest too much in order to be believed. Now, yeah, I get the fact that McConnell may not like Moore simply because Moore is a pro-Trumper and he's a true conservative, where McConnell is not, and Moore has called out McConnell on a number of occasions. So that could be all there is to it. But to use this at this time, you got to wonder: is there some skeletons in McConnell's closet of this vein? Again, I don't know. Nobody's come forward yet on Mitch McConnell, or have they? Or maybe they have, and nobody's believed it. Well, maybe if they have come, maybe they should come forward again. If they might be believed now. So we've got a culture of sexual harassment on the Hill, and we're supposed to believe them when they say that Moore is a disgusting alien, basically. When this is what they've been doing. I'm not saying that Roy Moore could not have done something like this. I'm just saying I don't believe these women because it has been so long, and they're talking about what. Did he just stop one day? I mean, usually this type of person who does this type of sexual, they don't stop on their own. They usually get stopped by somebody. But evidently, it just seems to me like all this stuff took place 35 to 40 years ago, and all of a sudden Moore has just stopped. Now that I've said that, we're probably going to have somebody come forward that says, well, last year Moore did this to me. They'll figure it out. Trust me, they listen to this program. Trust me, I know that others listen to this program too, because unless we actually think that much alike, I have heard some of the big guys say word for word. Now, I'm not joking either, and I'm not exaggerating. I've heard them say lines word for word that I have said here. Not reading off of anything, just words I have said. So I know people listen to this program, and that is a compliment. So now if you see somebody out there who's more recent, is leveling a more recent accusation of Moore, you know where they probably got it from, right here. I'm not kidding. I'm not being facetious at all. I'm serious as a heart attack, folks. These people, they will take any idea that they can find from anywhere that sounds viable at the time to make their own sick lives have more meaning. Plain and simple. It's horrific, yes. It's horrifying, yes. But as I have said, this is like this. I haven't heard. I haven't heard of a more recent complaint against Moore. These are all like decades old. But the question is are these people trying to hide something by pointing fingers at people like Moore because they're guilty of the same thing or guilty of something worse? According to CNN, that might be the case. I know some people are saying, but Rod, it's CNN. Yeah, but we're talking they interviewed some 50 people. As bad as CNN is, if they've talked to people on both sides of the aisle, and they're blaming both sides of the aisle, even in the CNN piece, they're saying, yeah, this is an equal problem for Democrats and Republicans alike. Well, if they're including the Democrats, then it's a lot worse than they're letting on. I'm just saying. If CNN is including Democrats in this, openly including Democrats, then it's a lot worse than they are presenting. Now, also remember, as I said, CNN was one of the news outlets and organizations that made fun of Mike Pence for not wanting to be alone with a woman that wasn't his wife. Think about that. I mean, honest, here we have all this sexual impropriety going on, all these accusations flying everywhere, both sides of the aisle, the political aisle, in Hollywood, in D.C., in New York, just everywhere. And the one person who knew how to fight all this from the beginning, who knew how to prevent this from the beginning, he's the guy that they made fun of.
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
A couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said, "I'll bet you're a Nazi." Well, I love America, support the Constitution, and believe in capitalism. So I told him I'm not a Nazi, and I'm not. So what happens? The punk breaks out 2 windows and pepper sprays an elderly woman in the face. You know, there's one thing about long-haired young people nowadays. They're real assholes. Long-haired young people. You suck.
Okay, you people in the chat room are a little bit crazy. They were. I went and looked these up. There's something called I'm not into pop culture in this way, although this is a show about pop culture too. So I have to bring you this. It has to do with Thanksgiving. Yeah, Stovetop. Yeah, the stuffing company. Those people that make the stuffing. Stovetop actually has something called Thanksgiving pants that they're actually selling. Yeah, small, medium, large, and extra large. You can get the Thanksgiving pants. For $19.95 or something like that, $20. The Stovetop Thanksgiving, it's a real thing. There's even multiple YouTube videos about these. How the hell did I miss this before? Well, they're like the waistband. It's got a wide waistband, very wide, and it's elastic. So you know how you have to loosen the notches on your belt during Thanksgiving? That's the whole big thing about getting overly full. Well, you don't have to have any belt. Your pants will stay up before you eat, while you're eating, and after you eat, and you won't have to adjust anything. It'll just expand with your waistline. It's hilarious. They'll probably sell a ton. They'll probably sell out. They'll sell a ton. Wish I would have thought of it first. Yes, so, well, no, I'm not selling. Maybe I should put a link up on Rod Eccles. I'll put a link up on rodeccles.net. So you can find them. They're just, I just did a quick search, Thanksgiving pants, and it just blew up my search results for Thanksgiving. There's at least 10 different YouTube videos for stovetop thing. Are they going to have Christmas pants too? Who would have Christmas? Well, we got the ugly sweater for Christmas, right? There was even a company on Shark Tank a few years ago. The ugly sweater thing. They took the ugly sweater thing to an all-year type of business model, and they even started making ugly T-shirts. So this could be a new trend for, we got Thanksgiving pants. I don't know, birthday pants, and New Year's. You could have New Year's. Well, pants that you could have pants or clothing for New Year's that repels vomit. People drink too much, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, there's all sorts of things that you could do to expand on the stovetop stuffing the Thanksgiving pants. You could come up with something. And just remember, now that I've given you the idea, I just want 1% of your earnings. That's all, just 1%. Stovetop pants. Got me off track. This stuff is incredible. Anyway, I am sure that those would probably be a fashion statement, a high fashion statement. But how many Hollywood stars could you get to wear those? I'm just I wonder if you could get any musicians that do holiday shows, like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. If you can get any of the musicians up there to wear the Thanksgiving pants. Well, I guess for Christmas you could have elf pants. Yeah, why not? I guess they would have to be green. Maybe elf footy pajamas. So yeah, you could just an idea. If you actually bring that to fruition and you make sales, all I ask is just 1%. 1%. J. Paul Getty once said that he'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of his own efforts. Kind of makes sense. So it's kind of, anybody else as manager or something would charge you 10, 15, 20%. I'm only asking for 1%. That's a bargain. I'm the one giving you the idea. It's a bargain. Anyway, yes. Now that I've get thrown off track, got so much more here in the paper pile, both the actual physical paper pile and the digital paper pile. Just a ton of stuff here, folks. But we will get to as much of it as we possibly can in due course. Stovetop pants or not? Did you know that Bill Gates? Texting. Now, Bill Gates doesn't have anything to do with this, or does he? Texting while crossing the street. Texting while walking. I guess just looking down at your phone could soon be made illegal in this place. We'll get to it after the top of the hour break. Look, it's possible because here in my state of New Hampshire, live free or die. It's illegal to even use your cell phone for any reason, including as a camera at a stoplight or a stop sign. Yeah, it's a $150 fine or something like that. Trust me, we'll go over it when we get back. Don't go anywhere. So much more to go. Another hour left, folks.
It was just another quiet Saturday at the Johnson home.
Honey, have you seen the hammer?
It's in the garage.
Oh, no, not the garage.
Later that same day...
Dad, I can't find the bicycle pump.
Son, I'm afraid it's in the garage.
The garage?
Then the following Tuesday...
Howard, where's the car?
It's in the garage.
Does your garage look like a giant yard sale without the yard? Do you cringe at the thought of entering your garage? Then you need Crest Garage Cabinets. With one phone call, those wonderful folks at Crest will come out to your home, design the best combination of cabinets for you, and install them quickly and professionally before your very eyes.
It's a miracle.
And unlike other companies who ask for a down payment or money up front, you won't pay a penny until your Crest cabinets are installed to your satisfaction. So call Crest today, toll-free at 1-800-548-2848. That's 1-800-548-2848. And you'll never fear going into your garage again.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's going to explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine. It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Hour number 3 already here on the Rod Eccles Show. The fastest talk radio show on the internet is right here, powered by Zinc Media Arts. Welcome back on this Tuesday, November number 14 in the year of our Lord 2017. It's already halfway through November. Where does the time go? Honestly, folks, just whizzing by here. My goodness. Here. Well, it is. It is what it is. Time is flying by. Welcome back to all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe, plus all of you wonderful liberals that tune in, and everybody else, all you newbies and newbophiles and wherever, you know, that you just glad that you're here. And know that, by the way, now this is going to come as a shock to some people, because it came as a shock to me last night. I was actually looking at a paper calendar on my wall. It's on my refrigerator. I was actually looking at the calendar. And a sudden realization came to me. Next week is Thanksgiving. Yeah, a week from this Thursday is Thanksgiving. Now, imagine my shock and horror at realizing it. I know we're talking about Thanksgiving pants, but folks, you better get those things now, because Thanksgiving is next week. Wow. It is what it is. That's going to be here fast, folks. Well, anyway, welcome back. What are you going to be doing? Are you going to? I should do a maybe a Twitter poll. Are you going to traditional turkey bake? You know, put your turkey in the oven. Are you going to use your barbecue grill? There are people that barbecue grill their turkey or pizza oven their turkey. Are you going to deep fry your turkey this year? Or are you going to use some other... What other method is there? Yeah, there's the oven, the conventional and convection oven. There's the grill, and there's a deep fry. Is there another method for cooking a turkey? Can you is a turkey? Is it okay? Is a turkey small enough? Can you rotisserie spit a turkey? Well, I suppose if you can rotisserie spit, bigger animals, then turkeys would be fine too. But like pigs. But do people do that with turkeys? Can you do that with a turkey? Do you really want to do that with a turkey? Smoked turkey? Braised turkey, fried turkey? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what do people do to their turkeys today? I've had the deep fried turkey. My brother-in-law did one I think he's only done it once. I don't think he liked it too much. Tell you the truth. He had a deep fried turkey cooker, baster, baker, fryer, or whatever. We had deep fried turkey. It was different. The skin was crispier. And I wouldn't say I guess I could do it again, but I'm just call me a traditionalist. I really do like the good old fashioned throw the turkey in the oven for 20 hours type of thing. Yeah, I know when your mom gets up at like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning and starts preparing and cooking the turkey, and the turkey's not done until 4 in the afternoon. I get it, but that's we always get away with trying to get away with doing things faster. This is back in the day when they made they don't make gigantic microwaves so much anymore, but. My parents, up until recently, they had a big Kenmore thing. You could cook a small turkey in this huge Kenmore microwave, and now we never did. But a friend of mine's mother once took a turkey and microwaved it. It was awful. So there are just things you cannot put in the microwave, and trying to cook a turkey in a microwave was one of those things that yeah, it's terrible. In any case, I just happen to like the slow things. It tastes better. Most of the time, the slow things taste better. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference whether it's slow or fast, and other times the faster method is better. But most of the time, the good old-fashioned slow method is better. And frying a turkey takes less time than baking it or roasting it, whatever you want to call it. So I like the. I've never had the smoked turkey. I know people use a smoker. I've never done that. I've had smoked fish before, which is actually pretty good. And smoked jerky, smoked beef, that's pretty good too. But I've never had a smoked turkey. Maybe I'll have to get a smoker one of these days and try it. By the way, those are not inexpensive. Going to Home Depot, and as a side note, I own stock in Home Depot, so I always say go to Home Depot, but we got to be fair, got to tell people I actually own stock in Home Depot. But I go into Home Depot and I've seen those things. They're not cheap, which is why it's I always put off buying one. Because they're not cheap. And how many times am I going to use it? Once a year if I'm lucky? For that price? I don't know. I'm just not into it. Anyway, so yes, next week, the end of next week is Turkey Day. Thank you. It is going to be different. A different Thanksgiving. No NFL football on many TVs. During Thanksgiving dinner and pre-Thanksgiving dinner, because a lot of people are turning off the NFL as we speak now. What are you going to... If you are not going to be watching the NFL, any football games on Thanksgiving Day, what are you going to be... What's going to be on your TV? Any suggestions? Because me and many people in my family, we all feel the same way about the NFL right now. So, in the NFL is probably not going to be. It's definitely not going to be on all the TVs in the house. So, what is the alternative? I don't. Frankly, I don't know what else is on because I've always watched football on Thanksgiving. I'm being frank here. That's pretty sad. What would be more Thanksgiving like to be put on TV than football? I mean, a Christmas Story. I shot my eye out. I did. That usually doesn't start until the day after Thanksgiving. It usually starts on Friday. So that's not on. And it's untraditional to pop in a DVD or go to Well, I guess you could go to Netflix or Hulu or something and find whatever you like. But there's no real Thanksgiving-ish type of programs, is there? Yeah, well, you can only watch so much of. I love the Charlie Brown specials, including its Thanksgiving Charlie Brown, but that's only a 30-minute cartoon, and actually without commercials, it's only like 20 minutes. So you can't put that on repeat for 5 hours. So I'm just wondering, what are people, if you're not going to be watching NFL football, because college football doesn't play on Thanksgiving, what are you gonna watch on TV? Speaking of watching on TV, just make sure that you're not watching it on your phone, at least while you're walking. Because if you're not careful, you could be one step away from a big city fine. Yes, Chicago, Illinois, reports that 2 Chicago leaders want you to pay up if you're texting or talking on your cell phone while crossing the street. Nowhere else, just crossing the street. So in other words, if you're having a conversation on your cell phone and you're on the street and you're walking, either you got to put the phone down so you're not talking on it while you're crossing the street, or you can't cross the street, according to these 2. So they're saying that everybody does it. Everybody's irritated when somebody else does it. So, hey, Rahm Emanuel just thinks, well, why not just do something about it for people's own safety and just fine the hell out of them if they do it? I mean, seriously. So go to Chicago, get in a cross. Now, according to city numbers, 27 pedestrians have been killed in Chicago so far this year, which is 1 death up from last year. Oh, wait. How many hundreds of people have been murdered in Chicago? And this is what they're going to focus on. You texting or talking on your phone while you're crossing the street. Because 27 people, 1 up so far this year from last year, have been killed on Chicago crosswalks. To enforce the proposed ordinance, Chicago police would hand out tickets with a fine of anywhere. Now, get this fine. This is not about your safety. This is a money grab because of the price of this ticket. The tickets would be anywhere between. I don't know how they're going to determine what level that you're at. I guess multiple offenders. The tickets that they would hand out would cost you between $90 between $90 and $500. All because last year 26 people were killed while crossing the street on their cell phones, and so far this year 27 people were killed. But are they putting any task force in place, or meter maids in place, or ticket writers in place to stop the over 1,000 murders last year, the over 600 murders so far this year? So over the past 2 years, the city of Chicago has lost nearly 2,000 of its citizens to murder, and they're going to worry about approximately 50 being killed in a crosswalk. And how many of them actually were on the phone? And how many of them were the drivers really at fault, not the pedestrian? And well, is anybody being fined in Chicago for murdering somebody? There's an awful lot of unsolved murders in Chicago, yet they want to fine you $90 to $500 for crossing the damn street on your cell phone. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that. Just like I'm not saying you should be texting and driving, but a $150 ticket for picking up while you're at a stoplight, taking a picture of a cop in a costume that says the end is near, that's not about public safety. That's a money grab. It's a tax that is being wrapped up in a disguise of public safety. Just saying. But Rod, you sound really mad about it. Well, I'm mad anytime that any government uses the term public safety as a way to tax you. That always upsets. Just come out and say it. This really isn't about public. Don't lie about it. Tell the truth. It's not about public safety. It's about a money grab. And you're figuring out all kinds of ways to grab more money from more people more often. And the best way to do it is to get easy money is just say, oh, it's about public safety, and pick a common habit that nearly everybody does on a daily basis. And you've got instant tax increase. And who's going to complain about it? It's for public safety, right?
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Time in the program where we talk about, or I tell you about, all the wonderful holidays that are being celebrated today on November 14. Today is International Girls' Day. Now, I've noticed that some of these holidays seem to repeat. They call them something different. They have a different name, but they're basically the same holiday. Now we've had other girls' female days during the year that I've brought to you here, but today is International Girls' Day, which I guess is different from National Girl Day or National Girl Scout Day or National Women's, because there's an International Day and there's a National Day, and sometimes a National Day is on the same day as the International Day, but usually they're separate. I don't know why. Well, did you know that there's a Canadian Thanksgiving? Yeah, it's on a different day from ours, obviously. I don't remember when that is, but Any case, so today is International Girls' Day, and it's observed annually on the 14th of November. I don't know why it's the 14th of November. It's not a great time to get Girl Scout cookies because everybody's out by then, unless you go to eBay or Amazon, and they're a godly price. You can go to probably eBay right now and look for, or I think even on Amazon, you can get some Girl Scout cookies, but you're going to pay probably about 5 times the price, the regular. What does a box cost? About $6? Or about $20? $19, $20 on eBay and Amazon off season. I'm actually, hell, maybe I should do that. Should buy a couple of cases of Girl Scout cookies and abscond away with them and put them away until like now. And I could make a killing. Put that on. Hey, if you do that, there's another idea, business idea. If you do that, I get 1% of your proceeds. Hey, if you're selling a $6 box of cookies for $25, you can give me $1. Come on. 1% of that. Any case, today is also Loosen Up or Lighten Up Day. You know how people always say, lighten up, dude. Well, today is the day to do that. Today is Loosen Up, Lighten Up Day. It is also National American Teddy Bear Day. I guess that would be as opposed to National French Teddy Bear Day or National Canadian Teddy Bear Day or National British. Today is National American Teddy Bear Day. Of course, teddy bears are as American as a baseball, apple pie, and all that wonderful stuff. Teddy bears are an American invention, and this goes back to Teddy Roosevelt. How's the story? Teddy saved a bear or a cub, and he became known as Teddy's, as in President Roosevelt, Teddy's bear. And somebody made a stuffed animal that resembled Teddy's bear, and thus that's how we got the name Teddy Bear off of these things. It is also National Pickle Day. Not the last name Pickle. What was it? Rugrats? Was it one of the kids' last name was Pickles? Well, that's not the kind of pickle we're talking about. Today is and not the other pickle either. Today is National Pickle Day. I know we talked about all the sexual innuendo and sexual accusation stuff earlier in the program, but that's not that kind of pickle. Today's National Pickle Day. It's a National Pickle Day, traces its roots to International Pickle Week. Yes, there was a National Pickle. I didn't know that there was a National a Pickle Week. Did you know that pickles that? Well, I guess they have Pickle Fest and they have Garlic Fest, so why not have a Pickle Fest? So it was started by National Pickle Packers Association back in 1949. Pickles, which usually mean pickled cucumbers, when spoken of in the United States, are preserved in a brine or vinegar solution and flavored with herbs and seasonings. The word pickle is derived from the Dutch word pekkel, P-E-K-E-L, which means brine. The pickling process was invented about 1440, and many people were making pickles in their homes by the 1600s. This was helped with the invention of the mason jar in 1858. Pickles are a low-calorie food and high in vitamin K, but may also be high in sodium. Each year, Americans eat about 9 pounds of pickles. So get out there and celebrate your pickle with Pickle Day. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. It's also National, loosen up. It's National Spicy Guacamole Day. It is also National Young Readers Day. It is International Operating Room Nurse Day. Spirit of National Speakers Association Day. I don't know what the hell that means. As well as World Diabetes Day. Now, I think there are more than one diabetes days during the year, but here today on the 14th is another World maybe it's a National Diabetes Awareness Day, but today is International World Diabetes Day, not international. So those are your holidays for today, November 14th.
You might be surprised to learn who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Nearly 1 in 200 Americans are suffering with a debilitating pain and constant disruption of these inflammatory bowel diseases, or IBD. Chances are you know someone with IBD. For example, your neighbor or coworker. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation was created to help patients cope and to find a cure. People with IBD can't wait. Won't you help someone you know? Visit www.escapethestall.com today.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, but most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? Shifting to a system based on primary care can help fix the problem. Patients with a primary care doctor live longer, healthier lives and are less likely to suffer from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. Primary care that is comprehensive and coordinated also saves money. Patients who have a primary care doctor spend 30% less on health care than patients who don't. States with a high number of primary care doctors have lower health care costs and higher quality care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease.
That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
I went and did a quick check. Speaking of holidays, and I've noticed that there seems to be multiple days, and they just changed the name of it, but that they give for basically the same thing. Like there are multiple days that honor and supposedly honor girls. National Girl Day, International Girl Day, World Girl Day, that kind of thing. So I thought, what about one that really counts? How about the day that honors cops? And I went and found that there are multiple days throughout the year. Like in May, there's a National Cop Week that was proclaimed as such by President John F. Kennedy. So this is in May. May 15th is the day of National Cop Day, and that whole week that it lies upon is National Cop Week. And I guess it's a big thing. I didn't know this. It's a evidently, it's an international celebration of police officers. Cops from all over the world converge on Washington, D.C. Now, I don't know why we don't see more. Well, yes, I do. Lamestream media is part of the anti-cop movement thing. They're not going to show all this kind of stuff on TV, which is why I don't see any, I don't see any of these, a bunch of these cop holidays and honoring cops on any of these holiday sites that I get all this information about daily holidays. You don't see a lot of cop days. Did you know that the first week, or is it first week? Weekend? No, first week. The first Wednesday in October. Why is everything done on a Wednesday, hump day? But first Wednesday in October is National Have Coffee Day with a Cop. I didn't know that either. Just missed it. I have a few cop friends I take out, even a couple of cops around here that I've met in the past, in Hooksett and Pembroke and Concord, that I'd offer them a cup of coffee. Take a cop. Why don't we do that every month? The first Wednesday of every month is, I know, look, cops drink coffee too. We know this. I don't think they'll be upset. If you do it right, a cop is not going to be upset with you for buying them a cup of coffee. Just don't include a donut with it. Then you might be able to get away with it. But how about we do this on a monthly basis? Just buy I don't know if they'll accept it from you if you just walk up to their cruiser and hand them a cup of coffee. But if you offer to buy them a cup of coffee, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to accept. No, honestly, seriously. How do you do that? I mean, I don't recommend that you go knocking on on a window of a cop car. Well, maybe you could just buy a gift card and drop it off at the police station. That might be a little weird too, but just say, go walk up to the window and say, I really need to speak to an officer. It's important. And they'll go and get an officer. An officer will come out and just say, here, thank you for your service. Here's coffee on me today. Why not just do something like that? Just every once in a while. Now that I think about it, it might behoove you to do that because especially if you're in Chicago, because you might be a person that forgets about the new ordinance that they're about to pass in Chicago, is walking across the street on your cell phone, and the cop that you just gave a cup of coffee on you day, cup of coffee last week, will be the one that stops you and say, hey, thanks for the coffee. I'm going to return the favor and not give you a ticket. But just remind you, don't walk across the street with this thing. You never know. Anyway, those are the holidays. Maybe those are some holidays that we probably should have. By the way, speaking of law enforcement and cops, Attorney General Jeff Sessions is considering a second special counsel to investigate Republican concern over Hillary Rodham Clinton. As a matter of fact, this is just in. NBC News is reporting Attorney Jeff Sessions has directed senior federal prosecutors to evaluate whether a special counsel should be appointed to investigate concerns raised by Republicans, including alleged unlawful dealings by the Clinton Foundation and the sale of a uranium company to the Russians. So Sessions has made the formal inquiry, I guess. I don't know why he's got to... Can't he just appoint somebody to say, well, no, you're just going to appoint it? I'm just saying. No, Chris, that is not illegal. I didn't say go and buy him a card to bribe them. It's just, how many times do cops give people warnings? They can give people warnings. So maybe if they remember it by giving them a gift card for a coffee or buying them a coffee, they remember who you are. They might return a favor. Just give you a warning. It's not a bribe. It's not unethical. I mean, especially with some of these laws are just unethical. So if a cop, unless it is written that it is absolutely mandatory, most civic laws like that are at a police officer's discretion. Did you know that's how a lot of these civic laws are written, which is why cops are able to give out traffic warnings. There are certain traffic stops they can't give a warning out on. But some of them, they can give you a warning. They don't have to give you a ticket. It depends on the circumstance and whether or not they believe your reasoning or excuse and whether or not they've reached their quota for handing out tickets. They can give you a warning unless the ordinance is written that it, like some ordinances or laws are written that it's mandatory. Unless it is written as mandatory that they have to. It's not unethical. They can give you a warning. Some cops will give you a verbal warning, and some will go the formal route and give you a written warning, which then gets put in the system. So the next time you get stopped doing the same thing, you're most likely going to get a ticket. So they can give out warnings if the ordinance or law is written as such that would allow them to. There are some laws that just aren't warning, or there are some laws where police departments have said there will be no warnings. I mean, when they instituted this law against cell phone use while driving, even if you're stopped at a stoplight or a stop sign and you pull it out and answer a phone or text or take a picture with your cell phone, you could take a picture with a regular camera, but not your cell phone. They were saying there were no warnings given. They were just handing out tickets from day one. which is why I also said it was not about public safety, the way the law was written. It wasn't about, it was a money grab. They were handing out tickets day one. But sometimes you can get a warning. Yeah. Now I don't know if that particular anti-cell phone while driving law is written in such a way where they can't give a warning. I don't think so. But it's a massive fine for first offense, like $120, $150. And no warning. They gave no warnings when it first went into effect. Day one, it was boom. They were handing out tickets left and right. And they were actually out there on those. Some communities in my state, they put extra cops out there just to catch people. I'm not kidding. So this was all a money grab. Anyway, Sessions is actually considering, and he's actually put in the formal inquiry and request to have a special investigation. Why can't he just, this, if anything, this is real stuff. Mueller was appointed on fake, phony information and documentation. The stuff that we have on the Clintons, the Clinton Foundation, the DNC, and other Democrats as it pertains to collusion and uranium deals is factual. There is actual factual basis to investigate this stuff. There was nothing factual and actual about investigating Trump on collusion with the Russians. It was based upon a fake, phony, made up, pretend, fictional dossier. This stuff is real, and they're hemming and hawing about whether or not we should have a special. Well, it could be construed, Rod, as being, playing politics. Well, who cares? How about we just forget about politics and being worried about the optics of whether or not we're playing politics and just get to the bottom of this crap for a change, and really punish those who are guilty. Not go at, look, this is another one of this is a Scooter Libby thing that's happening right now with some people like Flynn and a couple other people who are being caught. This is all procedural. Nobody is being indicted on collusion with the Russians as it pertains to the dossier of what they said Trump did. Nobody. Oh, it's whether or not. Kind of like Libby, Scooter Libby and Martha Stewart, you lied under oath. Well, you shouldn't even have been investigating. There was no reason to investigate. So now you're going to catch me on a technicality because I misrepresented or I misremembered something? This is why people don't talk to the FBI or these special prosecutors because they don't talk to you just once. They talk to you 5, 10 times, and they compare notes with the same damn questions. And if they find one that is out of sync, they go, aha, you lied under oath, or you lied, or you misled investigators. We're going to indict you and charge you with some lying crime. This happens all the time. It's a procedural crime that they're trying to get Flynn and others on right now. This is what all these indictments are. But we have the goods, the real goods of potential real crimes from the Clintons, the DNC, and some of Clinton's operatives in the Clinton Foundation. And maybe we should have it. Maybe we shouldn't have it. Should we have it? We don't want it to look like it's, playing politics. Screw that. Just get to the truth. It's about damn time. Well, I guess we should be happy that he's at least considering it, right? Just unbelievable. We know that we have enough evidence to firmly believe that the Clintons, their organization, some of their minions, and some within the DNC ranks are corrupt. There is enough evidence to warrant an investigation. And I am sure that if a real investigation were to actually go down, there would be a number of indictments up to and probably including one, if not two, if not all three Clintons. Yes, I'm including Chelsea. We don't know what did Chelsea know and when did she know it? And let's remember, Chelsea's in her mid-30s. She's not a little child anymore. Yeah, I know that kind of freaks some people out. What do you mean? Chelsea's a millennial, but she's also in her mid-30s. Is she like 34, 35? Do you realize that the leading edge of millennials will be turning 40 soon? You're talking 1980 is when the millennial generation started. Or 81, depending on who you ask, 80 or 81. So that means that millennials, the leading edge millennials are 36, 37 years old. They're not little children anymore. They're all adults. You realize the entire millennial generation are now adults. Legal adults. When the Generation Z started in 1999, or is it 98 or 99? Again, depends on who you talk to. So that means that they're all at least, 18, 19 years old? The vast majority of them also are of legal drinking age, so they're not kids anymore. That's the other scary part. My God. Millennials are now starting to run the country. Yee.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You guys in the chat room, you guys are too much this morning, I tell you. I can't stop laughing. With if you do not, if you don't listen to, wherever you're listening to the program at any time is fine with me. But sometimes the chat room on Spreaker.com is actually pretty funny. These these people have me cracking up this morning. In any case, this morning, I can't believe we're almost at the end. End of the program already. Almost. FBI, speaking of cops again, the FBI seeks Senate documents signaling the possible probe into the sale of fetal tissue. Yeah, I was kind of shocked by this. Is from The Hill. I was kind of shocked to learn this. Finally, somebody's taking this stuff seriously. The FBI has asked the Senate for unredacted documents it obtained from abortion providers, signaling agents may be investigating whether Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers illegally sold fetal tissue and body parts, according to sources familiar with the document request. The request was made over the previous few days, sources said, to the Senate Judiciary Committee, whose chairman, Senator Chuck Grassley, last December referred Planned Parenthood and several other abortion providers to the FBI for investigation after a lengthy probe into the transfer of fetal tissue. You know, the thing that Project Veritas brought to light. So, there you have it. It looks like there's an investigation that is a real investigation is finally being started. I know we should just be happy that they're at least investigating, but folks, they do this a lot. They well, there's nothing there. What I want to see is a real investigation that is done, and real evidence is uncovered to prove or disprove the allegations. And then if it does prove the allegations, then people need to be punished and people need to go to jail. I mean, enough with the rich and powerful and the right thinkers getting out from under the law and getting in trouble and going to jail. And this has got to stop. All this special treatment stuff has got to stop. Too many people, regular people go to jail for long periods of time when special people don't even get a freaking slap on the wrist. I mean, how is it that, for example, how is it that Bo Bergdahl doesn't get jail time for what he did? How is it that Hillary Clinton doesn't lose her law license or go to jail for what she did, lying under oath and all that kind of stuff? Bill Clinton, too. Martha Stewart goes to jail. What did she go to jail for, like 9 or 10 months? And not for the thing that they were originally investigating her for. Because evidently they said, well, she lied under oath. She committed perjury. She went to jail for perjury. You know, she didn't do anything else wrong. She went to jail for perjury. The Clintons perjured themselves, and nobody even thinks twice about it. Why? Mueller, the guy who's investigating corruption, has been accused of corruption himself with some pretty, substantial evidence to back it up. Nobody's investigating him, but yet he's the one that's investigating corruption. This has got to stop. People are getting sick of this kind of stuff, and I don't blame them. This has gone too far. So now it is time that real criminals, if they're no matter who they are, even at the higher specialty levels, they need to be held accountable. It's the only way you're going to root out corruption is holding the highly corrupt accountable for their corruption. Otherwise, you're just going to keep having corruption happening. I know Planned Parenthood is a special organization, but you know what? It's not that special where they're too big to be investigated and too big to be punished. If they're selling illegal body parts, especially from aborted babies, they should be those who are guilty should be thrown in jail, and Planned Parenthood should be shut down. Well, Planned Parenthood should be shut down anyway for murdering babies. But if they're doing stuff that's already illegal, like selling body parts and tissue, they should be shut down. Because everybody else would be shut down. Nobody else would be allowed to get away with this kind of stuff. Just saying. And finally today, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Warren Buffett are wealthier than half of the rest of the U.S. combined, supposedly. Yeah, that's what they're reporting. Oh, good for them if they are. But wait, they're all libtards. Are they sharing any of that wealth? No, I don't think they are. Go figure. Are you surprised? I'm not. In any case, we're out of time for today. We'll be back here tomorrow for a hump day, so don't miss it. Thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend or two, whether they be liberal or conservative, to tune in as well. I'm sure they will thank you for it in the end. I'm Rod Eccles. Have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain what, why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat Apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.